Hi guys, welcome to Shield's Cooking. Today we're going to make a delicious dish because we're going to butter poach a lobster and then we're going to serve it with some polenta, a carrot cream, some caramelized onions and a beautiful onion broth. So, let's begin. Start by filling up a pan with some hot water. Now put it on a low heat and season the water with salt. The water must be 60 degrees Celsius. Then by using a knife, cut the head of a lobster in half. Now snap the claws by twisting them and do this as well with the tail. Put a spoon between the meat and the shell to help it to stay flat. Now remove the elastic bands from the claws and put them together with the tail in the hot water. Then put the tail in ice water after 10 minutes and the claws after 12 minutes. Once it has completely cooled down, remove the spoon from the tail and gently press the shell without crushing the meat. Then remove the shell. Now separate the end of the tail and carefully take the intestines out. After that, cut the tail in half. Then snap the knuckles of the claws. Now take a claw and twist and pull the little part to take out the blades. Then hit the claw with your knife to open it. Now gently take out the meat. Then open up the knuckles with some scissors and remove the meat. When everything is done, cover the lobster with some plastic foil and keep it in your fridge. Now cut the lobster head in half and heat up a baking pan. Now bake it golden brown in some oil. Once it's golden brown, add around 200 grams of butter. When the butter is melted, turn off the heat and let this marinate for around an hour. Then let it drain on a sieve. Now we're going to make the tuile. For this, mix 50 grams of samphire with 90 grams of egg white, 20 grams of furikake, 8 grams of squid ink and 4 grams of salt. Mix this till it's a smooth paste. Now pour 100 grams of flour in a bowl and add 50 grams of icing sugar, 90 grams of butter and the samphire paste. Mix this. Now spread the batter on a stencil. I'll put a link in the description where I bought mine. Remove the stencil and then bake it at 160 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Then let it cool down completely. And now the polenta. For this, pour 500 grams of water in a pan. Also add 5 grams of salt and 75 grams of butter. Bring this to a boil. Once it's boiling, add 100 grams of polenta and cook it till it starts to bind. Now pour it into a pan and cover the pan with some aluminium foil. Cook this for 45 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, grate 50 grams of parmesan cheese. Once the polenta is cooked, remove the aluminium foil and then mix it with the parmesan cheese. Then pour it into a tray covered with parchment paper and cover this with another layer of parchment paper. Spread this evenly and let it set in your fridge. Now the carrot cream. Cut one shallot in half and clean it. After that, chop it. Then heat up a saucepan and caramelize 50 grams of butter with 50 grams of sugar and the chopped shallot. Now clean 500 grams of carrot and cut it in slices. Add this to the pan and bake it. Once golden, pour in 20 grams of sherry vinegar and 500 grams of vegetable stock. Let this reduce completely and then transfer it into a blender. Then blender it till smooth. Meanwhile, cut 12 pear onions in half and put them flat side down in a pan. Add a splash of olive oil and start baking the onions. Then add 3 tablespoons of honey and caramelize them. Now add 100 ml of vegetable stock and slowly reduce it. Then remove the skins from the onions. Now take a round cutter and cut the polenta to the desired shape. Bake it in a little bit of oil till golden brown on both sides. Meanwhile, also heat up the lobster in the lobster butter. Then put the polenta on a plate and add some of the carrot cream. Also add the caramelized onions and the lobster claws. And now I decorate it with some borage cress, mustard cress and some edible flowers. Then put the lobster tail next to the polenta and season it with flaky salt. And finally, I add some onion broth, which I will show you guys next week, and the samphire wheel.
Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. So give it a like and share it and subscribe if you want to see more. Bon appétit!